Hey guys, Wesley here with another video about what it's like to live in Cleveland. So today we're going to talk about the cost of living in Cleveland. What does it cost to live here? What does it cost to work here? What does it cost to buy groceries? All those sorts of things. If you've been a friend of the channel for very long, you know that back 2 years ago, we actually filmed the same video and a lot has changed since then. So stay tuned and I'll tell you all about it. All right, so let's jump right into the video. The first thing that everyone always wonders about moving to a new city, this channel is about living in Cleveland and the video is about the cost of living in Cleveland. So you have to have a place to live, you have to have a place to stay. So the first place that I always like to start is there. So what does it cost to buy a house? What does it cost to rent? All those sorts of things. So in my last video, you'll know that the price that I put as far as what it takes to buy a home in Cleveland, just in Cleveland proper, was really, really low. Now, that was due to a lot of different things, but I redid the research, and as of last month, the average price to purchase a home, so the average sales price as of last month in Cleveland proper, so that's just with a Cleveland, Ohio address, was $232,000. Now, if you took Cleveland out of it and you just went into the greater metropolitan area for Cleveland, that number goes up to about $288,000. Now, if you were to just take Cuyahoga County in general, just that, meaning all the suburbs, Cleveland and everything, that averages out to be about $243,000. So that's what it costs to actually purchase a home here. Now, obviously those go way higher than that and way lower than that, but that's a good starting point. Someone else asked me in a comment on the last video, what about property taxes? So I did a little bit of research there, and the news is not so great. So the average effective property tax rate in Ohio, not in Cleveland, but just Ohio, is 1.48%. Now that's the 13th highest in the entire country. So property taxes are not cheap here. And you'll find that as you move, especially into some of the suburbs, the property taxes get pretty high. Now, as far as renting goes, there's tons of rentals out there in a variety of different places. The average rent, now again, this is average, so take this with a grain of salt. So the average rental in this area, $1,238 a month for about 800 square foot apartment. Now, again, those are averages, so you can be in something a little bit smaller for cheaper. Obviously, I've seen some single family homes rent for $5,000 and $6,000 a month. So it runs the variety, but on average, think around $1,200 for around an 800 square foot apartment. And just so you know, I'm not just randomly grabbing these numbers out of thin air. I did a lot of research online. Some of the websites I use, just to give you guys an example, salary.com, bestplaces.net, payscale.com, numbeo.com, rentcafe.com, a lot of these places that are pulling data from a lot of different sources. So you found a place to live, right? You're either purchased a home, you're renting an apartment. What does it take for utilities every month? So I put that number at around $300, and I got that number strictly from personal experience. So that's talking about your electricity, your water, your gas, your trash pickup, sewer bills, and I threw my internet in there. So just know that, based on where you're living, based on if you're renting, are they paying your water or are they paying part of your utilities? So just think about $300 on average for a 2,000 square foot home. Obviously you go up, and the more energy efficient you get, it could be lower. The higher square footage you go up, it's going to be a little bit more. So just depending on what you get. Okay, so you're living somewhere, you're paying for utilities, you got to have a way to pay for those utilities, so you're going to work. Okay, so transportation. Cleveland is mainly a driving city. It's just part of the deal. The reason that I say that is, while the in-city transit is fairly robust, it doesn't quite get to everywhere that you want it to get to. So in Cleveland, it's called the RTA, so the Regional Transit Authority. RTA has their little fingers in a lot of different places. So I'll actually throw a map up and kind of show you the broad spectrum of public transportation. So even if you don't have a bus line that basically runs in front of your front door, there may be one nearby that you could walk to or bike to. As far as the RTA is concerned, you can buy daily passes if you need just a daily pass. They have 5-trip passes, monthly passes, 7-day passes. They've got a wide variety of ways to pay to get around to where you need to go. Now, if you're not taking public transportation and you do have a vehicle, everybody knows as of right now, so this is June of 2022, gas prices are out of control. So right now in Cleveland, I've seen gas. I just got gas yesterday for $4.99 a gallon. When I filmed this video 2 years ago, gas was at $1.50 a gallon. So almost, what is that? 4 times the amount of gas that we have to pay for now as opposed to 2 years ago, and that's pretty astronomical. So just keep that in consideration. About $5 worth of gas per gallon right now. Okay, the last video that I did on the cost of living, I didn't really say anything about jobs, but I did want to at least touch on that briefly. So I looked at some of the major job websites, so Indeed.com, Monster.com, some of those big job sites. There's a lot of jobs in Cleveland right now. If you're looking for a job, think about some of the bigger places that we have here, some corporate headquarters of some pretty big organizations. You have Moen, Sherwin-Williams, Progressive Insurance. Those people are always hiring. So make sure that you get online, avail yourselves of some of those companies if you're looking for a job. Obviously, if you're in healthcare, we've got the Cleveland Clinic, you've got University Hospitals, you've got Metro. So there's plenty of jobs around and plenty of opportunities for you. The other thing that I wanted to mention is the median income in Cleveland. So this is a super important thing. The median income right now is about $37,000. So $37,000 will certainly get you into the average apartment if you're wanting to rent an apartment at that price at around $1,200. So you should be good there based on the median income of $37,000. Now, once you have a job, you're going to be spending money. So what's the sales tax in Cleveland? So the sales tax in the Cleveland area is 8%. So that 8% is derived from 2 different things. You have the state sales tax, which is 5.75%, and then the local option sales tax in Cleveland at least is 2.25%, so that brings you to the 8%. The other thing that I wanted to mention about taxes is this entity called RETA. Now, if you're from Cleveland and you're watching this video, I know you're rolling your eyes right now because RETA is a thing that even I don't understand. So I'm not originally from Ohio, but RETA is the Regional Income Tax Agency. So what RETA is tasked with is charging you tax or assessing tax based on the municipality that you live in. So some of them have reciprocity, right? So if you live in Westlake but work in Rocky River or work in Cleveland proper, they'll have reciprocity to where if you pay city tax in one, they'll recognize that you paid city tax already and they're not going to double tax you. However, when you're new to Cleveland or new to Ohio and you get a tax bill from RETA, don't do what I did originally and throw it away thinking it's some kind of a scam. Those people are legit. You do have to pay municipality tax here, and RETA is the way that those things are assessed, and that's the agency that handles those things. All right, now the food scene. So I would say that Cleveland is not very much different than most everywhere else in the country as far as the food scene. So if you're going out to lunch while you're at work, you're hitting up fast food or even something that's moderately fast food. I mean, you're going to spend somewhere between 10 and 15 bucks based on what you're getting, unless you're like me and you shop the dollar menu, and it's not even a dollar menu anymore, right? So it's $1.25 or $2 or whatever. But just know that it's not vastly different than anywhere else. Now, if you're going out to eat for dinner, you're taking your significant other with you, and you guys are getting appetizers and you're buying drinks and the whole bit, 40, 50, 60 on up to 100 bucks based on where you're going is not completely out of the norm. Now, not everybody goes out to eat. A lot of people just choose to buy groceries and stay and cook at home, and that's awesome. here's the issue with the groceries though. Because of inflation, right, we're spending 10% more for groceries now than we did last year at the same time. Again, Cleveland not vastly different. Some of the websites that I looked at said, hey, the groceries are 5% more in Cleveland than they are everywhere else, and some said, well, they're 3% lower. So I would say let's just average the two. They're going to be about the same price no matter where you go. If you go to the Giant Eagle here in Cleveland versus the Giant Eagle down in Columbus, probably going to be about the same. All right, another big reason that I know people come to the Cleveland area is because of the health care that you can get here. So we've got 3 really amazing hospitals. Obviously Cleveland Clinic, one of the best hospitals in the entire universe. We've got University Hospitals, which is a great hospital in its own right. And then as far as trauma is concerned, one of the best trauma hospitals probably in the country at Metro. So we've got healthcare, an abundance of healthcare, but what is that actually going to cost you, right? How much has healthcare gone up? We all know that the pandemic has sort of messed up healthcare in a sense that it's going to go up. It's going to be more expensive. So the world's largest professional services organization, it's an organization known as PricewaterhouseCoopers. They wrote an article recently that talked about healthcare and the fact that they think that it's going to rise this year by about 6% or a tick over 6%. The reasoning behind that was threefold. One, people are rescheduling procedures that they had scheduled during COVID and during the pandemic to now. The second thing, the pandemic has brought on a multitude of mental health issues. And then thirdly, there's been an overall decline in lifestyle health because of choices that people made during the pandemic. So it looks like healthcare prices are going to go up just a little bit. I did read another article that was put out by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, or MIT. They pulled their data from a couple of different places, but what they said, basically this year in this area, it's going to cost about $2,700 per individual for healthcare. If you've got 2 parents plus a child, that number is going to go up to about $6,500 a year. Now, what about overall? What are we doing and what are we talking about overall in the Cleveland area? How has inflation, how has the cost of living risen year over year? And so what I read was it's about a 1.6% increase over last year. Now, as far as how Cleveland stacks up with other cities nationwide, overall, Cleveland allegedly, now according to some of these websites, kind of did a little bit of an averaging out here, and it looks like Cleveland is about 4% below the average for cost of living. So that's great. Unfortunately, that doesn't tell the whole story, right? So the whole story is healthcare would be one. Healthcare is 8% higher in Cleveland. Now that may be because we've got, the Cleveland Clinic here and those sorts of things. The other thing that's really interesting about the cost of living is that when you look at housing is actually 16% lower in Cleveland than it is nationwide. So that's a fairly interesting thing. So housing is still way cheaper here than in most other places. However, the property taxes, like we talked about earlier, may end up balancing that out anyway. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful to you as you sort of think through what it may look like to make a move to Cleveland. If you need any questions answered, have any questions, I am a real estate professional here in the area. I'd love to help you in any way that I can via information or otherwise. Take care.